Now you got to be honest about this one. TuPac or DMX?
I love DMX, but TuPac Shakur is the greatest
Even
entertainer.
over DMX.
TuPac, and everybody who knows me knows that it's going to be TuPac for me. I mean, TuPac socially just was more meant more to us socially than DMX. DMX was somebody I think we identified with as somebody who was going through some things like a lot of members of our community. TuPac was a man who spoke up for everything that happens in our community, from schools to racism to poverty. I mean, you name it. Pac talked.
Did you meet TuPac?
I did.
I knew you met TuPac.
I definitely did. Yeah, I mean, he's and the power in him. You know what I'm saying? When you meet someone like that and you're just a fan, and I saw him. It was in California when I was going to college out there, and he was with Digital Underground, and so it was just
that's when he was with Digital Underground.
Yeah, so it was just a different way of life back then. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of epitomizes everything that I feel about society.
But hold on, Roger Mack and y'all call Roger Big Roger.
Big Roger,
but he was Little Roger. I knew Little Roger. I know the Big Roger.
You knew me when I was Little J.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. He says TuPac, K-Tone, DMX, or TuPac. K-Tone, the hood, K-Tone, DMX, or TuPac. And you're like, DMX had more hits than TuPac.
No,
He had more hits.
DMX had what, 4 albums?
He had 2 #1 albums in 1 year.
Yeah, but that the statistics were definitely different or taken differently when DMX was out, and I think. Like I said, TuPac was more of socially out there, so he was kind of vilified by the majority. DMX was not looked at like TuPac, not socially. So Pac had a message.
What was the difference between you saying DMX didn't have a message?
Not the message that Pac was able to convey. I think he might have had a message, but the way Pac was able to convey his message through his music, it just puts me into a different frame of mind. I don't necessarily think about social issues when I listen to DMX music.
Okay, K-Tone says Pac too, but check this out. Pirates are about to play the Falcons. It's for the championship. You coming out with some DMX or you coming out with some Pac?
Man,
I
mean, I'm trying to think of a Pac song that fires you up, but I mean, DMX.
I'm gonna tell you a bunch of DMX songs is gonna get you that.
Right. But I mean, that might get you that championship, but Pac is gonna make you think outside of that championship that you win on the field. Pac is gonna make you think about all the social things that went into that game and how you might be looked at as this and what your path is going to be. And DMX was great. This is a dude who I think we identify with and that was having issues, and we all kind of knew about his issues and his story, and it's somebody we definitely rooted for. And I think he was taken too soon too. But I think if you look at DMX, his style was based on TuPac. So you can't say he's better than Pac because his style was definitely based on
maybe
TuPac.
not better, but I'm just saying DMX.
Right. I mean, you got
that's okay. That's
in honor of DMX.
That's East Coast, West Coast.
In honor of DMX, when I leave here, I'm gonna go bark at 2 white people when I walk the street.
Okay,
scared.
Okay,
scare them.
White folks rather listen to TuPac or DMX.
DMX.
They don't want to hear that.
They're not
DMX.
comfortable with TuPac. They're not comfortable with TuPac, but they'll listen to what you want, what they bitches want from it. And white people love that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're in their homes right now singing that right now. So
the white folks is in the house singing what?
What they really want from a nigga? They in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? In the mirror, they got their rag on and they doing their own little karaoke at home. That's what they do. Come on. I'm sorry. I love y'all.
Can white folks do, is it politically correct for white folks to even do a karaoke with DMX or be like, what you really want from
Not in public, it's not. You better not. You better keep that in your luxury apartment down here in Wilton. Better not bring that out nowhere. I wouldn't suggest it.
Okay, what's the best #1 hit for TuPac for you?
Damn, that's tough. My favorite TuPac song, my #1 hit, or
Keep Your Head Up, huh?
So Many Tears.
Yeah.
So many tears. I mean, he kind of, talks about, the experience of a lot of young black youth going through gangs, losing their friends, moms, and not really doing the right thing, trouble with, girls. I mean, Pac just talked about it all. So many tears definitely is on my list. Or Machiavelli, Crazy, definitely. I mean, that's, Pac is just that dude. White Man's World. I mean, we can keep going. Pac just, he has so many songs that just kind of summed up our experience here socially. And DMX didn't. But I love DMX because he was more of a party kind of thing.
Could you hang with DMX more or with Tupac more?
Tupac.
It's going to be hard to hang with DMX.
Oh, man, you got to go a million miles an hour with DMX, man.
DMX went to the airport and put on his police siren in his car and pulled somebody over.
Right. And
DMX got in trouble.
He was more unpredictable, definitely.
DMX got in trouble for putting the police siren in his car. And the dude pulled somebody over.
Like, you can have a police siren, but don't pull nobody over like you on Law and Order.
No,
like you got one of them.
I couldn't hang with DMX.
Did he have one of them red globes like Starsky and Hutch?
Pulled him over.
Just put on his car? Like, that is hilarious.
Pulled him over.
Well,
could you hang with DMX or Mike Tyson?
Michael Tyson. Like, I love Mike Tyson. I love Mike Tyson, man.
Mike Tyson would be hard to hang out with.
I love Mike Tyson, Brother Jeff, because look at Mike Tyson and look what everything he's been through. And he has a past, being a youth kind of like DMX. They got sent to boys' homes and didn't really have anybody there. But Mike Tyson, to me, has... they've kicked him and he's just got back up time after time. That's what I'm saying. He, Don King did everything. He struggled with that.
But you couldn't hang with him, though. I know you like him, Big J, but
I could hang with Tyson. I love Mike Tyson. I can hang with Mike Tyson.
You would go hang out like Big J, get in the car.
Yeah, I'm hopping in. Let's go.
I ain't getting in that car.
I'm hopping in with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, he's a different person now. He smokes too much weed. He's calm. You know what I'm saying? He's invested in the marijuana business, so I'm hanging with Mike.
But did you see him and Sugar Ray and I think it was Frazier, and they was doing the talk show and they must have been high or tipsy, and Frazier was talking about Sugar Ray got his ass whooped. He's like, they talking. You remember such and such whooped your ass? And Sugar Ray's like, I'll whoop you. And then Tyson's over there timming in. Man, go over there and whoop that ass.
Right. And Tyson, that's why I love him, because if you look at some of his interviews, like the time he was just going crazy on that reporter, and the reporter's like, well, Mike, why are you cussing? What are you doing? He's like, if you don't like it, change the station. Like, I was like, Mike will say anything. When he said he was going to eat, Lennox loses his kids. Like, Mike will say Mike's a wild boy, man. I'm getting in the truck. I'm getting wherever. I'm hanging with Mike.
I don't know if I could hang.
Oh, man. Right, man. Mike can say anything. Mike's a wild boy. I'm with Mike, man.
But
I'm
Mike's
with Mike.
like I think he said he's a Buddhist guru now.
I don't know what he's. He's like I said, Mike has.
He's my favorite.
He's been knocked down so many times, Brother Jeff, and he's overcome these things. And right now, look where he's sitting. And I love Mike Tyson because he had to deal with Robin Givens. He had to deal with Don King.
What do you mean had to deal with Robin?
You remember when he went on Barbara Walters and she was like, "It's been hell," and he was just sitting there looking stupid.
Looked like Steve Harvey coming down that escalator.
He had that deer in headlights
with Trump behind him.
Right, he was just sitting there.
Like, what?
And I felt so bad for Michael Tyson, man. But he's been. Through so much, and he's picked himself up, and now he's back on top. He's been in those Hangover movies, which I think are some of the funniest movies I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So
they say that they talked to those jurors, and they said that they would not have convicted him of rape if the information was introduced that was really attached to that particular case that the jurors did not know about. Like, I remember watching the prosecutor in the case against Mike Tyson, and Don King got him a tax attorney in a criminal case. He had a tax attorney in a criminal case against Tyson, and the prosecutor said, when we saw that tax attorney coming who was used to filing friendly briefs to the court and paperwork, we knew we was going to tear him out the frame.
Part of that was because Don King was so dishonest and did those things to Mike Tyson. So I think Don King wanted him to disappear because he was stealing millions and millions of dollars from Mike Tyson. So,
But was Tupac that like was Tupac on the level of a Mike Tyson, a DMX? I know he was in some drama all the time.
Tupac was shooting. Remember, he shot 2 Atlanta police officers, and you remember, during that time, Tupac and Mike Tyson's paths crossed. They had gotten to be good friends, and the night that Tupac died, it was at a Mike Tyson fight. And so he was.
That's right.
Yeah, he was supposed to hang with Mike Tyson. They had to develop a real friendship. Because there were two people who were being ostracized by the public. You know what I'm saying? Tupac for what he was saying in his music, and Mike Tyson for what he was doing in the public eye, and his public persona as this strong black buck who just couldn't be stopped and would say anything. So. Their paths crossed. They developed a friendship, and Pac was murdered that night of I think Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it was a Tyson fight.
I can't remember who we just fought that night.
Did they ever figure out who murdered Mike Tyson? I'm not
there's so
Tupac.
many.
Did they ever get to the end of all of any of that?
I mean, Brother Jeff, they had like 18 different shows that showed who
like
killed
who
Tupac.
Shot Jr.
Right.
Remember who shot Jr.
From Dallas, right?
From that movie back in the 1,000 years ago, there was a movie called Dallas.
Dallas, back in the day. Who shot JR? And everybody
he was into so much. It was like anybody.
Everybody hated JR. JR Ewing, the 10-gallon hat. Larry Hagman, which was one of my mom's favorite shows. That and Dynasty back in the day. I think everybody's mom watched Dallas or Dynasty back in the day.
Big J in the building.